We back. We back, man. Back like we never left. I feel it though. I freaking feel it. It's weird, bro. It's like when you take a step back, not even a step back, but just like a break or a vacation or whatever you want to call it, like where you can just, just not necessarily just like sit back and relax, but you can just reflect. You know what I'm saying? Like you always come back with a certain amount of energy, and I definitely had that, but at the same time, like I felt the effects of travel like immediately. So like yesterday, I basically like just cashed out like immediately as soon as I got back to the crib, and then got up like super late and was just like up, but like still felt like I didn't have no energy. Like it was weird, bro. So I did a little things here and there. You know what I'm saying? Edited up some of the stuff that you're seeing right now on the actual podcast, some new graphics and stuff that I told you guys would be coming. And I'm super happy with the way that those things came out. And I just ease my way back into the groove of things, bro. I still don't feel like 100% like back, but you know what I'm saying, I'm ready to go regardless. You know what I'm saying? Got the grass cut already, like like we on it, bruh. We on it. But welcome back to another episode of the Why I'm Geeked show, man. This is episode 24, bro. The Kobe episode, man. We've been doing this for 24 weeks straight. Appreciate everybody that's come along on this journey with us. Shout out to y'all, man. And I want to get this episode pretty much started with a little bit of vacation talk. So went out of town over the weekend, you know what I'm saying, hung out with the fam, and this was like the first time we did like a really long drive in a while, bruh. Like everywhere I've been, like more recently, I've been flying, and it hasn't been like, during COVID or anything, but usually it's a flight that we catch, you know what I'm saying? And this is the first time we done made this drive since like I was super young, bruh. You know what I'm saying? And I say we make this drive, but I still ain't do no driving, but I still like, feel like I felt like the repercussions, bruh, because I was super tired. Didn't get really no real rest, like, in the car. But one thing I did do, man, was watch a whole lot of stuff, bro. So in this episode, we're gonna be reflecting on a lot of different things, a lot of different movies, a lot of different shows that I was able to take time out to really just chill out and watch, and really get like a new understanding of what it takes for like a movie or a show to really be good. Because I find myself like really having very select like taste, I guess, to the point where I kind of just like stay in my lane as far as like things that I like. Like if I like something, like I'll go all in on that one thing. You know what I'm saying? Like that's one of the main reasons why I even created this podcast, was because I wanted a place where we can talk Marvel, we could talk MCU, we can talk Star Wars, we can talk gaming, like all the stuff that I'm really interested in, but like in a long form content, and then adding chat to it. Is something that I think for the future will be something very valuable, just for us as a community. So, yeah, man, I really like usually am very like stick to my guns type of like, I guess watcher. And now that I've started doing reviews, I started looking at stuff that I usually wouldn't like take the time at looking at. You know what I'm saying? And there has been times that it's paid off, and there's times that not necessarily paid off, but times that I kind of regretted it. In just a short amount of time. But I've also like gained a new perspective on, like, learning what other people like to watch. You know what I'm saying? Because when you are, going through all these shows and movies, you build up an algorithm, and the algorithm suggests, movies they think that you would like. And sometimes it's good to, get a little reset. So, when I was hanging with the fam, we were watching a whole bunch of different stuff that I normally necessarily wouldn't really watch. None that I could really name, but there was definitely some good ones in the mix. And, it really had me taken aback a little bit, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm just used to liking what I like and sticking to that because of, the content that we make. But I think it's good to also experience, different things that, wouldn't normally go to, because it can offer some different perspective. But, if we want to get specific, man, we started off, last week with Loki, bro. Loki is amazing. The time that, you guys are going to be hearing this episode and watching this episode, the final episode will be out. And I gave pretty much my thoughts and theories on, how the MCU is basically going to possibly introduce, multiverse theories and stuff like that. And then, the main thing with Loki is understanding time. So, I released a video discussing that, and I think that, like, Loki is, like, from a show standpoint, it's really amazing. My hopes is that, like, sorry about that. My hopes for this whole series, I don't know if y'all can hear that. I'm getting, like, feedback from my mic or something. But yeah, so my hopes for this whole series is that, we unlock the multiverse. Just because after watching the last episode, man, like, I really think that, the timeline and the multiverse are connected. And that might be just a simple thought to think, but, like, if the timekeepers are the ones in control of the timeline, and they are the ones that are creating all these variants of Loki, who, strayed off the main timeline's path and ended up on the dystopian planet or whatever that, they ended up on. I think that if they beat the timekeepers, and that will inevitably unlock the multiverse. And maybe not, what I'm saying? But that's just where my head is at. But, in other MCU news, man, we got Black Widow that, just came out. This is a long overdue movie, bro. And it's really got me hyped, because we were supposed to see this movie over a year ago. And with the release of all of these, Disney shows, kind of forgot, bro. Like, kind of forgot what it really felt like to watch it, like, a real MCU movie in theaters, and also, like, experience it with an audience. Because, like, the movie is such a cool place, because there's people that, come from all different life and experiences and stuff like that, and have different knowledge, and, like, some people are seeing things for the first time, or hearing about things for the first time. So you get a whole bunch of different reactions, bro, especially at the end credits. But, one thing that, like, I really, really miss was the dot connectors, man. Because, with every MCU movie, there's always something at the end that connects you.
Why didn't you tell me this man rolls like
Hey. Sneaked up. Thanks for the host, man. Appreciate you. But yeah, like, with every MCU movie, we get a little teaser for the next one. They've kept that end of the bargain for the TV shows as well. But this is the first time that, we were supposed to see some characters that get revealed. I'm not gonna go a super deep dive into that. I'll save that for my actual review. But it was just really dope to be back in that environment, bro. Like, I'm super excited for everything that Phase 4 has to offer. And I think, Black Widow with it being the first one up, it definitely set a good precedent for, you know, the rest of the movies to come. I think it, you know, gave us some new characters that we weren't really expecting, but also, you know, set off or, you know, set Natasha Romanoff, sent her off. That's the better way of saying it. Sent her off in a really good way. Just because, you know, all the stuff that happens within it is right after Civil War. You know what I'm saying? We never really got the entertainment, and then, you know, this movie is going to lead into the Hawkeye TV show that's going to come out later on. But enough of that, man. That's my Marvel take for this week. Next up, you know, I finally got to watch Judas and the Black Messiah on my trip, you know what I'm saying, on a vacation, on a road trip. And initially, like, when I first saw that it was back on, like, HBO Max, that's how I saw it. I was super hyped, you know what I'm saying? And then, you know, I got into the movie, and I really, like, I realized, like, you know, how important these types of films are, you know what I'm saying? Because I did research prior to, you know what I'm saying, watching the movie, and it wasn't like back to back. I didn't expect to watch Judas and the Black Messiah when I saw it. Like, I just happened to see it, you know what I'm saying? I was like, oh, bet, I finally get to watch this. Because originally, you know what I'm saying, I was going to watch all of the Harry Potters, but they took those off. So, decided to watch that, man, and I'm super glad I did, because, you know, it really showed me, like, the importance of, you know, having a purpose, and, like, even just, like, it really showed me what, you know, how, like, or how powerful these actors really are, bro. You know what I'm saying? Because in the movie, it's a tale of, you know, two people, and, you know, one being Fred Hampton, you know what I'm saying, and the other being what was his name? How am I blanking on it right now? You know, he was the Messiah. Well, he was the Messiah, right? And then the Black Messiah, and then Judas. You know, if you know anything about Judas, you know, there's always one that's going to betray you. You know what I'm saying? But he was basically like the snitch or whatever, and he was involved in the Black Panthers. I see it, bro. I freaking see it, but I can't remember. Give me 1 second, bro. 1 second. I feel so bad for doing this too, because it's like, usually, you know, after watching something like that, I'll get on a review right away. But I watched so much stuff over that time. Bill O'Neill, and he's played by Lakeith Stanfield, and then Fred Hampton's played by Daniel Kaluuya, and both of them did an amazing job. What's up, Spliff? And I really think that, you know, not only movies like this, even though it's like somewhat traumatic from the beginning to the end, like looking at stuff like that, but I think it's important, like the overall messaging is still important, and the people that are behind this movie, you know what I'm saying, were really involved, you know what I'm saying, with the making of it. So it gives it a really, really, you know, legit depiction of what really happened. And it really, like, set me up for, you know, looking at how I do things, and, you know, what I'm creating content about, and, you know, the importance of what I'm doing. And you might think that's, like, you know, not super important just because, you know, we're talking about Marvel, we're talking about gaming, all that stuff. But you know, you never know, you know, who you might touch. You know what I'm saying? Like, you never really know. because like I literally don't just talk about that. Everything that I talk about, bleeds into real life, and that's why I like the podcast so much, because yes, it's focused on like the movies and stuff that we watch and the shows that we watch, but it's conversation about the bigger message with things, and I think that's super important, because I just know like that even it's just an inspiration, bro, like because like I after watching it, I did a little bit of research on just like the effect that these movies really have on the actors. Like Lakeith Stanfield needed therapy after you know performing this role, and I can definitely see why after watching it, you know what I'm saying, because like you literally became Bill O'Neill, bro. Literally, like I can tell, you know what I'm saying, like, and that's crazy to like be that skilled at something and then go to the next thing. Like I've said multiple times where and other podcasts, that it's hard for me a lot of times to separate the characters from the actors, you know what I'm saying, and the great ones is not hard at all, because they do so well at like what they do, you know what I'm saying, like, and that's not a knock at anybody else, but a lot of times, like, if their character isn't really that, I guess, I don't know if potent is the right word, but impactful maybe, their original stardom kind of takes over that character, and it lends to the review and the interpretation of it, but the original intention is for you to believe that they're somebody else, you know what I'm saying. If they can't really do that, like, that's how there might be something missing, not necessarily from the actor, and this is all subjective too, but maybe it has something to do with the script or the plot or something, you know what I'm saying, but it definitely is nothing to take lightly, but I really I really, like I said, I got inspired, from it, but also I was thinking about like how I would rate it, and it's really difficult to like rate something like that, you know what I'm saying, because not only have I only watched it literally once, and I don't think I'm gonna be able to watch it again, for the foreseeable future. All I know is that it's like a classic, but where does like a classic really rate as a movie? You know what I'm saying? Like as a score for a movie. Because you got, like, when you're doing scores, like, you got to be objective, and there's so many things, like underlying things that apply to it. It's like, I think it'll take more time, at least for me, to be able to judge it in that like way and give it a legit score. But the movie was dope. What's the name, won an Oscar for it, and it was a good watch. Next up, as far as like some anime stuff that I was able to catch up on, was Tokyo Revengers. Tokyo Revengers is really good. I haven't really watched a day in a life, I guess, simulator or real world simulator or whatever in a really long time. I forgot how good these animes can be. And yes, there's action in this, but this is more of a story based type of anime, Tokyo Revengers, because it deals with time travel, and it deals with gangs in Tokyo and all that, but it's supposed to be, it's like art imitating life, you know what I'm saying, and it's crazy just to see like how gangs are represented in anime, I guess. Because it's like everything is still like, because it's like anime, right? It's anime, so it's like still like honor code and all this other stuff, and there's still like moments where, you know, there is conflict and fights and all this stuff that you expect to happen in a gang violence and all that, but it's never really perpetuating like things that you would normally associate, things with, and that's definitely intentional. There's little subliminal things from like fan service and stuff like that, but uh from like a complete standpoint, it's just interesting to see their take on, um that whole world, I guess. And they call it delinquent. They call them delinquents, you know what I'm saying? But it's crazy to see like normal, like like normal ideologies from like, let's take for instance like Naruto. Like he wants to be a Hokage, you know what I'm saying? Like he wants to change the shinobi world. Like this in this show, it's like Mikey wants to change the delinquent world, you know what I'm saying? And it's just like delinquent world, like I never heard that before, and the show is really good. The dialogue is really good between the characters, like, the concept, everything is really dope. I haven't finished it yet, but when I do, y'all guys will get a review, man. And next up, we got some My Hero. So My Hero, it's finally getting good, man. Endeavor has took in Midoriya and Shoto and Bakugo under his tutelage. They have brought back the work study program because Hawks is undercover, you know what I'm saying, and the villains are getting ready to attack, and there's gonna be a mutiny. There's some heroes that are on the villain side now, like they're undercover as well, and they're trying to like weed out like all the people involved in like one felt swoop, because if they don't, it could lead to very catastrophic like things, bro. And it's getting like the stakes are getting high again. Before it was all like, oh, let's just get better, we're back in school, we're learning, but now we back in the real world, and I'm super excited for that, just because My Hero is just super inspiring, bro. Like every time. And I didn't think Endeavor was going to be this type of character initially when I first saw him, because he gave me Vegeta vibes. But he's really showing what a real number one hero is supposed to be like. You know what I'm saying? Very inspirational. Like just and very analytical, which was very surprising, bruh. Like the amount that he thinks through things before he does it, and like he's really, I should have noticed this by the way that he treated not only treated his family like a freaking experiment type of like thing, where Shoto became like the perfect child or whatever, or was able to become the perfect set of quirks, like hot and cold, like cancel each other out, that basically like completed, I guess, Endeavor's like outlook, like because he knew his limits and he knew how far he could go, and he purposely did what he had to do to get Shoto here, and it messed up his family, but it made Shoto strong initially, and now he wants to just make sure he's even stronger, because what I'm saying, there's a war coming, and those three, Bakugo, Deku, and Shoto, are going to be like the next ones up. Like if the heroes, which I don't think they will be able to, just for plot reasons, but if the heroes can get everything under wraps, I think that they're gonna have to step up. And yeah, it was a really good episode. As far as Black Clover, I just finished the war arc, You know what I'm saying? Just finished the main war arc. Now we're dealing with the aftermath. The war arc was super dope, man. A lot of crazy things happened, bro. Like a lot of craziness happened with, you know, the Wizard King to they having like a Black Zetsu moment, with, you know, the main villain, which was a demon, that was basically plotting for like 500 years to not only like resurrect the elves to get, you know, what's her name is Grimoire, but like we also learned a lot about Asta's powers. And then also, you know, you got the degular, you know, just being great. You know what I'm saying? Being great and then working together. We got to see the first, you know, Wizard King, and we learned a lot about, like, you know, just what happened to the elves. Like we've been seeing the intro, you know, every single episode of, like, you know, what happened in the beginning, how we got to this point of peace, or quote unquote peace, and we never saw the other side of the story, like what actually happened. And it was just like, it was really good, bro. It was really, really good, like top tier anime. And I don't know, bro. I don't know, like where they go from here is gonna be like the rebuilding stage. And for what I've seen so far, it's basically, you know, them, you know, really, really breaking down the culture once again, to be more accepting of all people and not discriminate and stuff, which is very, very potent in the royal community. And, you know, they try to change it one person at a time, but the world ain't gonna wait for that. You know what I'm saying? They already on Asta for, you know, having a 5-leaf grimoire, you know. And then we also got like not an introduction, but, you know, we got a bigger scope of what the whole world looks like. So world building of, you know, the 4 main kingdoms. Everybody that we know so far being in the Clover Kingdom, and then you got the Diamond Kingdom, which has been enemies. And then we have the Peaceful Heart Kingdom, which is like, you know, neutral. And then there's the Spade Kingdom, which I think will probably be like the last one they end up facing, you know, to really unite. And then it's just a lot. It's a lot going on, bro. But the fact that they had a Black Zetsu moment and it was way better than Naruto, like how Naruto did it, it was like, I was happy, bro. I was happy about it. Initially, I was like, bro, no way they just retold this story again. But, you know, after, you know, watching the whole thing, like there was so many like moments I got chills and you know, got the payoff of watching all these episodes and, you know, learning about all these characters, that, you know, I was really like, man, this show is really like that. Like, I know I've said it before, but it really is, bro. It really is. But, you know, other than that, that's pretty much it. Let's get into the filler arc of this episode, man. Team USA, bro. Team USA. As we all know, the NBA Finals is going on right now, but they also have started exhibitions for Team USA, man. And the Team USA team is real light this year. It's real light, but they definitely have enough to, you know, win gold medals. But I think that, you know, like coaches are really getting exposed this year, because, you know, with the old guard of players leaving out, you know, we're really starting to see who can really coach. And like with players really taking their careers in their own hands by playing with the people they want to play with. If they don't get results from that, you know, even going to like, you know, the front offices of stuff, you know, with the Nets hiring Steve Nash really not being able to coach for real. You know, I think it'll come with experience, but like coaches are really getting exposed right now. Like Greg Popovich, I don't know how I watched the games, you know, and they blamed a lot of it on the officiating of, you know, FIBA basketball compared to the NBA. the calls that youngins are used to getting in a regular NBA game, they're not getting here, and that might have been affecting their mental and just, getting through it. But these are only exhibition games. I'm sure by the time that they actually start playing, they'll start turning it up. They won their first game today, or yesterday that you guys are listening to this and watching this. But, they've been struggling, bro. They've been struggling. But I'm excited just to see where they go. I think there's a lot more talent out there this summer. Except for on Team USA side, like Luka's playing, and the Antetokounmpo brother, they're gonna play. But yeah, man, it's crazy to see that. It's crazy to see that every year. But this happens a lot though. Like a lot of times, Team USA is always like very lax in the beginning, and then they try to turn it up at the last minute. But hopefully, it won't be too late this time. The next thing I want to talk about is meeting your heroes, bro. Like RDC World, has been on a run recently. They have been on a run. Not only are they having like their own expo, but they're coming out with a manga, like an actual manga and stuff. And it's crazy because not only did Mark meet, and I'm talking about, if you don't know Supreme Dreams, he's like, the main youngin on RDC World, even though they all like, play big parts in it, but he's like the one that's always in the skits, like the main one talking or whatever, and it has the actual memes. But he's meeting all of his heroes, bro, which is crazy. Like, they always say, like, don't meet your heroes because you're going to get disappointed. But I think it's different when, you meet your heroes and then they know who you are. You know what I'm saying? Like, they know your work. That's, like, a whole different level, bro. Like, within, like, the last week, bro, not only did he meet LeBron, but he met J. Cole, bro, and Boss and youngins like that. Like, that's crazy to me, bro. That's super dope, like, because it's like, like, he's been working, like, they have been working, like, for years and years, cultivating an audience and, growing as creators and, from the writing side to, the production side to just the acting side as well. Like, all of them, bro, like, their impact on just, the culture from like gaming, like anime, sports, like just culturally wise, like from like Twitter, like anytime you do something on Twitter, it goes like viral, like instantly, and it's like every single time it's happening, like, and these people are recognizing it and finally like meeting up with them. And it's dope to see, bro, because it's just like, it gives me so much inspiration, bro, to keep grinding, because that's like one of like the best feelings that you can get when somebody that you admire acknowledges your work. You know what I'm saying? And I haven't like met anybody necessarily in person before, but like when they interact with you like on socials, like that's as close as I've ever really got. Like I've seen Mike Epps before, which is random, but I've seen him in the mall when I was in LA for the first time, and it was just on a different floor, and I was like, oh dang, that's crazy, that's Mike Epps. But back in my 2K days, bro, like artists, NBA players, they would show love to my videos, and they would be like, yo, this is dope, like 2K holler at them, like, you know what I'm saying, stuff like that, like Smino, Lonzo Ball, like a lot of people, bro, a lot of freaking people. You know what I'm saying, IDK, like I'm trying to remember freaking what's his name, he played for Duke. I'm blanking on his name right now, but he was playing for Milwaukee for a little bit. But y'all seen it all on my channel, like, you know what I'm saying, like it's mainly happened on social, like Jid, you know what I'm saying, Jid reached out, like Dreamville showed mad love before, and it's just dope when like the people that you like, listen to or watch, like, you know what I'm saying, acknowledge your stuff, like, that's a crazy feeling. So I know he's been super hype. He's been on one like for the last like week or 2 weeks, because we don't even know, you know, when this was actually shot or whatever. They could have been just sitting on it because of NDAs and stuff like that. But you know, it's got to be pretty recent, because you know, they met up at Boss's music video, which is like his new song, the Jackie is fire, bro. It's fire. It's my favorite song of the summer, for sure. It's with him, J. Cole, and Lil TJ, and you know, they met up, and I guess they were doing a skit for it, but the skit didn't make the music video, or we'll see it somewhere else. But it was just dope to see that. And then also, you know, Space Jam is about to come out this weekend. You know, they started having the premieres and stuff like that, and they pulled up for that too, and he met LeBron there. You know what I'm saying? He was like, I'm 36. That joint had me weak, bruh. So, you know, like, if you meet your heroes doing, you know, what you love, and they recognize what you love, I don't think it's a bad thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think you should still meet them anyway, but just understand, and not level your expectations, but, you know, understand where you at with it. Because you don't want to end up getting disappointed. You know what I'm saying? Because they could just be having a bad day that day. You don't know what's really going on. In more music news, Vince Staples dropped a project. It was alright. But his freestyle was crazy. He's really good. And the last thing I got on here, bro, is the Tomorrow Award. So I dropped a review, did a blog post on it. I just started the blog, by the way. I just started that, so y'all see that eventually. But you know, the Tomorrow Award was, you know, it was okay. It was an okay video. I say video, but movie. But you know, one thing I realized while I was watching it was that this was basically like Jurassic Park and like aliens combined. Like, there were alien velociraptors, bruh. You know what I'm saying? Like, and Chris Pratt was versing them. And I think that his experience from, you know, Jurassic World really helped him prepare for this movie. It definitely did. But if you know, you guys haven't seen that, it's a okay watch. You know what I'm saying? I think that these Amazon, original Amazon movies have a formula where they get a really notable name, like a Michael B. Jordan, like a Chris Pratt, and they put them in an action movie, you know what I'm saying, with a really good concept, but they just don't follow through in the end. And, you know what I'm saying, I think that it's going to be something that, you know, they might feel later on, but just because, like, a lot of people have Prime Video, but I think that's something that, you know, they need to work on. I think that the plots are very, very, like, there's no payoff. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's literally no payoff in the end. At least for me. At least that's how I feel. But, you know, I gave my thoughts a little bit on it, you know, in the actual review. I don't know if I'm going to do a video on it just because it was a minute ago. But like I said, I watched a lot of stuff. Over the weekend. But I got a lot of content coming to you guys, so definitely be on the lookout, man. Hope you guys enjoyed the podcast. If y'all did, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, wherever you are, and follow the podcast, man. Hope you guys like the new setup, the new graphics, everything that we got going on. If y'all do, you know what I'm saying, let me know. But other than that, that's all I got, man. Hope you guys enjoyed. Like I said, I'll catch y'all later. Y'all know the vibes. Always keep it on. Let's go. It's me, boy G. I'm done. Peace.